Good afternoon. My name is Krista, and my husband was injured October 3rd, 2005. And just to give you a little background, we had just got married. We found out that we were having a baby, and he went to the National Guard. He was actually inactive. He was active duty for 5 years with the Army, and then he was inactive for a year and a half, and then he did National Guard. And he wanted to just go blow things up, with big guns, and be able to go and go to school. So that's what at that time a lot of people wanted to do, was to use the benefits. Well, they found out he had a lot of MP background, so Arizona actually had just put together a new unit that was set to deploy right away. And so they moved him from the unit that he was originally in to this other MP unit and put a stop lock on him to send him directly over to Iraq. And so about 6 months later, he left for training. He went to Iraq in March, and it was actually the first day of March he got there, and he did a lot while he was there. He saw a lot, and he went through a lot of his friends that are no longer here. And he was actually, the week before he got injured, he was hit by shrapnel while he was trying to save one of his friends' lives. And so that started his week, I guess, of complete terror, because it was a couple instances after that where he lost another one of his buddies. And then on October 3rd, he was actually shot. So he was shot by a sniper, and he was patrolling the streets of Baghdad when he got a call. He was the sergeant in the group, so he was the passenger, and then he had a driver, and then his gunny. And there was a huge explosion at IED, and they were called up to go and check out everything and make sure that everything was okay. So when he got out, he searched and made sure that everything was fine. And a while later, he was getting ready to get back into the vehicle when a sniper shot him, and it went straight through from side to side. And he was instantly paralyzed. He fell to the ground, and his driver got out when there was still shots being fired from that building, and risked his own life to come and save my husband. Grabbed him, pulled him to safety on the other side, and then from there it was just one of the biggest battles that they had gone through. It lasted a good couple hours, I guess. But there was time when they were able to actually get in to get him out. They say that there's, I guess, 45 minutes time, that if you are able to get to safety within 45 minutes of being injured, then you're more probable that you're going to live. And this is what he's told me so many times, is that he was hoping, his first thing was when they were able to load him up into the Humvee was, how long has it been? And it was within 45 minutes. So at that point, he was able to close his eyes and relax, because he knew that he was going to be okay. While he was there, he actually almost bled to death. He had less than a quart of blood left in his body. They had to cross-clamp his aorta right there on the field. When they got him to the safety zone, which was in Balad, they had done several surgeries on him, and they were able to transport him to Germany. He was there in Germany for 5 days, because on Friday, this was a Monday, Friday he was able to finally meet me. Now, that's just a little background of what happened to him that day. what happened to me that day was not as bad, but to me it was absolutely horrible. My life had completely changed, and I thought that I had lost everything that I lived for. I got the call at 9:30 in the morning when I was in the backyard cleaning off the patio, as I did all the time. He would call me between 9 and 10 because he was able to get a phone from Iraq to call every morning just so I know he was okay, even if it was for a couple minutes. And I saw that it was him. It had his name on my phone, so I answered the phone. I'm like, "You're late." It wasn't him. It was First Sergeant. And all I could say was, "Is he alive? Just tell me he's alive. That's all I want to know." He told me he is alive. We don't know how long he'll be alive. We don't know if he'll be able to make it. I need you to sit down and relax. I need to talk to you and tell you what happened. Just tell me what happened. It all blacked out right there. I have no idea what was said to me at that time. The only thing I can say is that I was in complete panic. I didn't know what to do. Here I am with a newborn baby. In addition, I had my son, with me, and I didn't know what to do. I was alone. The person that I just married, that I had wanted to spend the rest of my life with, was going to die. That's what I was told. That he wasn't going to make it. Just be prepared. So it was absolutely horrible. I was on the phone with the Red Cross. I called them. They were able to get me over to Germany, and I got a direct phone number after a while because I was calling so much. I was calling every 30 minutes because they wouldn't fly me there, and they told me that I wasn't able to fly myself there, so I said, "Fine, then I'll call you every 30 minutes," and I did. And that was 24/7 until I was able to see him. He almost died 3 times over there, and finally he was stable enough to come to the States, which was on Friday. I left my home in Arizona on Friday as well. Met him in Washington, D.C. at Walter Reed, which is, I don't care what has been said, if anything negative about Walter Reed, they kept my husband alive, and it's an amazing place, and I thank them all the time. The only problem is right when I got there, they had finally just brought him there in the ICU because he was still in critical condition. And they brought me into the room, and basically because there are so many soldiers coming in and out of there, all it is a little section with curtains. And it's not a room or anything because there's so many of them. And I walked in, and the nurse says, "Do you want to see his injury?" Before I could even say anything, they ripped open the blanket, and here he was, cut open. From top to bottom, completely open. And I saw my husband laying there, and he looked like he was dead. He had tubes coming from everywhere. He was on a ventilation. He couldn't breathe. And it was horrible, absolutely horrible. He still had dirt and blood in his eyes and ears and nose from Iraq. That didn't fly with me at all. There was a lot of spouses of soldiers that were there that didn't take care of their soldier, that left. It got too hard for them. It was horrible because there was people leaving all the time, and there was no way that I could have done that. Even a short amount of time that we've been together, there was no way I could have left him. And I didn't care how he came home, first of all. I didn't care if he was just, this part of his body. I just didn't care, as long as he came home, So here I was, washing him and brushing his teeth, and he had a colostomy bag. I was doing that myself because I didn't trust any of the nurses. He ended up with bed sores, and those kind of things were not okay with me. So I took it upon myself to do it all. And there was quite a few times that I threw nurses out of the room, and I was very surprised that I was allowed to come back on quite a few occasions. But I was, and we went from Walter Reed, which we were there for a couple of months.